Hello everyone. Well, the day has drawn near. The Fender Showman bullet hole amp that I have had on eBay, or rather YouTube videos, and I'm going to auction on eBay. You've seen this amp in about 10 videos that I've done so far for various pedals, vintage pedals that I've had for sale, that I've used in the past that no longer need. And I'm selling this amp, which is a 1966 Fender Showman amp. The amp part only, no cabinet comes with this one. It is totally original. All the components internally are original. Filter caps are original. I've got numbers and so forth on all that. I'll have pictures on the eBay auction. The different numbers for the electronic components inside. The filter caps need to be replaced, but most people have their own ideas on how they want to do that anyway, so that'll probably work out fine. If you've seen in the videos, it sounds amazingly great. I run it in the video through a power soak. It's with everything cranked up all the way, but of course you just run straight into it and it sounds like a Fender Showman does, clean. And it does need new tubes. I've got tubes in it that have been used in my other Fender amp before, so they really need to be replaced, and I know everyone has their own opinion on which tubes they like to put in Fender amps. I'm going to pan in here just a little bit. You'll see that it says Fender Musical Instruments, and I believe that changed over in 66. 65 would have said Fender Electrical Instruments, I believe. Vibrato, I believe in the past, if I remember right, having had this amp for about 25 years, as I was saying in my other first video, this was called the bullet hole amp. And the vibrato, I believe, worked originally. I don't have one of those RCA foot switch gizmo, you know, the original foot switches that came with the amp, to really try it. Well, the amp works great. I hate to see it go, but I do have a 1965 Fender Bassman that I really like, and a matching cabinet. I don't have a matching cabinet for this one, and my wife and me are going to the Grand Canyon this summer, so this is going to help the cause. And this amp works great. Just needs however you want to do it, spray gattum, filter caps, what everybody seems to be going with, new tubes, however you want to do that. That's, you know, owner preference. But this amp, very reliable, and it's got a lot of miles left in it, and it sounds awesome. And as you've seen in all the videos I've done, I like the vintage amps. That's you know, I still got my Marshall too, so I'm good on the amps. The recovering with the Tolex, actually I was pretty happy with myself. I had recovered some other amps in the past and had some experience, but I tried to duplicate the original Fender method with the seams being like they are, and the way they're have a horizontal cut there at the corners and various places like that. Alright, this is the bottom of the amp, and I believe the corners are probably original. It's got the original feet on it. As I said, I replaced the grill cloth, and the reason it was called a bullet hole amp is because this is the original. You can see the ghost of the Fender emblem right there. Had a hole in it, and there were You know, of course, the Ooh, Blues Club, gun went off, bullet went through the amp stories. You know, I didn't even know myself at first, but someone had drilled a hole actually to put some knob on the front of this thing, which didn't do anything. But I'm going to throw this in just for the thrill of it all with this amp and go to the back side here. There's the left side looking at the front of the amp. You can see the chrome's worn. So, you know, this is pretty much the virtual tour of this amp. Okay, this is the back side. This back panel is original, and I did not recover that because it was actually intact enough to where I wanted to keep it as authentic as possible. And this is the back side. There's a chassis stamp number. I'm going to pull this back plate off and try to get in there and show some of the tube areas with the chassis amp labeling on it. Alright, got the back panel laid down, and you can see that this is definitely 1966 here. So I had re-glued some of these areas on this back panel, but overall it was in good enough shape to keep. There's a stamp number there from the factory, and I believe it's 65 is the last two digits on it. There's a 6 on, well, I don't know. I think the first one's a 6, and a 6.5 are the last two on that one stamp. There's another stamp in this area also, and that's harder to make out, but it looks... Alright, well, hopefully you can see that. I have this documented on other films that I did of this amp. That's an OH stamped on what's left of the amp label. It's a let's see if I can get some light in here. AB 763 Showman amp. Hopefully you can see that. And as I said, that's documented on other videos I've done. But it's got the original metal canisters on the preamp tubes. Right now I have a couple of groove tubes in the center, and then I think there's Sovtech tubes for the outer ones. You could run the outer two or the center two if you just wanted to run two tubes. But that's spent, you know, pretty good amount of time recovering this amp, just like Fender would have, and it turned out really pretty decent. The grill's in good shape up front. You can see that this is vintage wood. So anyway, I'll have other pictures, and as I said, the power cord was never on the chassis inside. Actually, that ground wire was never soldered, it was just snipped off, so it was never attached to anything. But I'm going to put this back together, and that's basically the deal on the amp. So hope to see you soon on eBay, and I will also include a DVD along with this of the restoration process I did. May or may not be interesting, but it makes a really good iced tea coaster on the coffee table. That disc does, if nothing else. So be throwing that in. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.